Think back to when you started studying plants. What did you learn about seeds? What do seeds become when they germinate? That's right, they grow into a seedling. You learn that cotyledons in the seed have the important job of providing the seedling with the food it needs to sprout and grow. Once the seedling's leaves have developed, it can begin to make its own food and grow into an adult plant, as long as it gets water, light, and nutrients. Today, in Unit 7, Lesson 8, you're going to learn about a particular part of a flowering plant called a bulb. Bulbs, as you can see in this picture, are not seeds, but they still grow into new plants. Let's join Mel as she learns about bulbs in her grandfather's garden. Mel loved visiting her grandfather. She especially loved walking through his big garden, where the roses bloomed as red as cherries, and the daisies swayed like people dancing, and the sunflowers grew higher than her head. "Granddad," she said, "ask me anything. I've been learning all about plants, and I know about roots and xylem and how leaves make food. And—" "Whoa there, little girl," cried her grandfather. "If you tell me everything you know, I won't have anything left to ask you. Let's see. Can you tell me why these flowers are so healthy?" "You bet," said Mel. "You must have made sure they had plenty of water and sunlight and good soil with lots of nutrients." "Nutrients? My, you have learned a lot," her grandfather said. "What can you tell me about that bush over there?" "It has stems and leaves and flowers," Mel said. "It even has fruit." "And what about that tree?" her grandfather asked. "It's usually the chlorophyll in its leaves to make food," she answered, "but I bet it has a tap root underneath. I am sure it at least has fibrous roots holding it into the ground and taking in water and nutrients." Her father was impressed. "Now," he said, as he pulled out a round object from his pocket, "do you know what this is?" "Is it a seed?" Mel asked. "But wait, it doesn't look like a seed." "This is called a bulb," her grandfather explained. "A bulb is a part of a plant that reproduces without seeds. These thick pieces on the outside are its leaves. They're thick because they're full of food that the bulb uses to become a full-grown plant." "Granddad," said Mel, "you're such a smart gardener." "I think we have two smart gardeners here today," and he laughed. Have you ever seen bright yellow daffodils or tulips blooming in the early springtime? Daffodils and tulips grow from bulbs. If you take a look at the first stage of this tulip illustration and its growth stages, you can see the bulb underground. A bulb is not a seed, but it acts like one in that a new plant can grow from it. A bulb is a type of underground stem that has fleshy leaves, and within those leaves, at the center of a bulb, is a baby plant. The leaves store food that helps the baby plant grow. And when the weather starts to get warm, the bulb sends a shoot up through the soil, and from that shoot or stem, the leaves and flowers will grow. The bulb stores food inside of it. So, when the parts of the plant above ground die, the bulb can stay alive because of its stored food inside. In the spring, again, the plant will start to grow all over again. Boys and girls, I would like you to do the investigation in Lesson 8 with your learning coach, taking a look at the inside of a bulb. I would like you to dissect an onion and identify the parts of the bulb. Onions and garlic are a type of edible bulb. There are some different things that the investigation asks you to do with your learning coach. First, your learning coach will cut an onion down the middle lengthwise. I want you to take a careful look using your investigation eyes to look at the stem that runs out of the middle of the onion. As you can see in this photo, where the stem would be running out of the middle of the onion through the center. If this bulb were planted, the stem would continue to grow up towards the surface of the soil. Now, cut the onion across the middle crosswise. With your learning coach, I would like you to investigate the inside of the onion, and I would like you to look at the fleshy leaves that surround the stem in the middle of the bulb. These leaves store food that help the bulb survive during the winter or any dry season, so that it can remain alive and begin to grow again. As a review of all of the things you have learned about plants, I would like you to work with your learning coach to make a plant vest to wear. This vest will be your visual display of all of the various plant parts. While working with your learning coach, I would like you to discuss and review all of the questions that we're going to talk about here in just one moment. There are directions for you and your learning coach to follow. As you use a grocery bag, you can display all of the things that you have learned in this unit regarding plants. There are two ways to review all of the information we have learned about this unit within your online school lessons. Plant Talk is one of those ways that you can review. Work through Plant Talk with your learning coach and take turns answering questions and discussing all of the information within this fun way to review all of the things that we've learned together.